What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Tuesday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials, Instagram, Twitter, X, at Sports Talk Matt. This podcast being brought to you by omahasteaks.com/juice, our title sponsor. Customized URL when you're going to go get something from Omaha Steaks. Use the customized URL, omahasteaks.com/juice. Subscriptions are available right now. If you get one, you get your first purchase 10% off and free burgers for life, all backed with a 100% money-back guarantee thanks to omahasteaks.com/juice. All right, so a light day, a 1-0 day. When I tell you that there is something really wonky going on with the overnights in the NBA, there's just... Did you follow the line movement of that total? So I told you yesterday when I bet under in the game, I was like, okay, the number had already moved 215.5, right? It already come down from like 217 down to 220, 215.5. When it reopened in the morning, like the morning guy came in and was like, oh, no, that's too low. Jacked it to 220. That game didn't break 200, right? I mean, that was like an absolute, it was 215.5. It was never, ever in doubt. I saw an in-game of 189.5 with that Toronto in Brooklyn game. I don't know what's going on. I'm watching these numbers and they're almost like Fugazi. Like I'm betting these numbers and I'm getting up in the morning and I'm like, wait a minute, these numbers are totally off. So I don't know. I'm winning. That's all I know. I can't complain, right? I mean, like, the handicap is the same. I had the worst number on the planet last night, and it won. So, for everyone that loves to say, you have to get the best number. No, the bet's got to win. You want to have the best number, but you don't have to have the best number. I had the worst number. I had 215.5. There were 220s available. You got a 4.5 points better than what I got. But game went under. So 1-0, up 1 unit for the day, up 1 unit for the week. I'll take it. I love telling you guys about what we're doing here with different sportsbook partners, and we do have one with Bet365. BettingPros.com/365. Go there, deposit $10, make a $5 bet. When that wins, and make a $5 bet on anything. When it wins, they're going to give you $150 in free bets for going there through BettingPros.com/365. Check and see if it's legal in your state. But if it is, bettingpros.com/365. A $5 winning wager wins you $150 in bonus bets at Bet365. So it's a Tuesday. Let's do a Totals Tuesday. Haven't done one of these in a while. 2 NBA plays and 1 NHL play for you guys. All right. So we came out with 1 bet yesterday. Let's come in with 3 bets here on a Totals Tuesday. Let's start in the NBA. Let's start. There's only 4 games. But let's start with the Lakers and the Bucks. This game, all right, you might go, wait a minute. What are you doing, Matt? Lakers are 20-14 to the over on the road. Bucks are 20-15 to the under. Sorry, to the over, rather, at home. But the Lakers are on the road. The Lakers, last time out on the road against Sacramento, went under by 10.5 points. Before that, on the road against the Clippers, it went under by 8 points. Against Phoenix on the road, it went under by 5.5 points. Golden State on the road, it went under by 5.5 points. We have to go back to Valentine's Day. That's the last time the Lakers had a game go over on the road. Now at home, last game out for Milwaukee, 233.5 against Oklahoma City. Game went under by 22.5 points. Before that, though, Brooklyn went over by 2.5. Phoenix went over by 41.5. 140-129 final. But before that, Philadelphia, that game went under. Against the Clippers, that game went under. Against Charlotte, the game went under. Miami, the game went under. Denver, the game went under. Charlotte, the game went under. The Bucks at home are an under team. Now, I know the numbers don't say that, 20-15 to the over. But they're an under team, okay? At home. Outside of a couple of games where a couple of outliers, they're an under team. The Lakers on the road are an under team. Total is 232. It's a big number. Going under. Milwaukee, I don't care if LeBron plays or not. Under 232. Milwaukee and the Lakers for 1.1 units. We've been good with these unders. Second bet in the association, we're going to go to Dallas at Sacramento. Dallas 18-15-1 to the over on the road. Sacramento 20-12-1 to the over at home. Both these teams are in a massive scoring slump. This is really one of those like weird, what's going on with these teams? Why are they not scoring? We got, Kyrie and we've got Luka in the game for Dallas. Dallas on the road, under against Utah in their last game. Under against Sacramento by 18.5 and 16 points. Under, okay? Here's the thing. Both these teams are due for big offensive explosions. Sacramento is 4-1 to the under over their last 5. So is Dallas, 4-1 to the under over the last 5. 7-3 Dallas to the over. Sacramento 8-2 to the over. Sorry, to the under. Sorry, Dallas is 7-3 to the under. Sacramento is 8-2 to the under. But you start looking at the way these teams are playing. Start looking at what may happen here offensively, and you start to see that maybe when Sacramento played at Dallas in November, it was 246.5, and the game went under, but 246.5. This current number is 236.5. The game started at 237.5. It's been bet down to 236.5. You're going to get a better number. People are going to bet the under in this game. I'm pretty darn confident we're going to see under bets come in here, but call me crazy, say I'm going against everything. I just think we have a shot here to watch offense and watch pace between these two teams when it comes to the total. I also lean towards Dallas to win the game. I think Dallas most likely will win the game. They've been pretty good on the road, 22-12 ATS versus 14-20 Sacramento at home. Okay, so if you want to get into, but Sacramento beat Dallas in that game on the 19th of November, beat them by 16 points on the road. So that does scare me just a little bit. They beat them by 5 on the road as well. And when they played back on the 27th of January. So this is the third time these teams have played, and Sacramento is 2-0 against them. So you can say Dallas is due, but sometimes a team just owns another team. That's why I don't really love it. I lean towards Dallas to win the game, but I think the over is a better play here. I haven't played many overs, but like I mentioned, historically on the season, Dallas over team on the road, Sacramento over team at home, even though the last 10 games we haven't seen that. Let's get these two teams together. Let's get some offense. Let's get them running, get them up and down, see what happens. 2-0 to the under the last 2 times. I'm kind of bucking a trend here and saying let's go over. Going to go over. Kings and the Mavericks over 236.5 for 1.1 units. And one game in hockey. Oilers at Winnipeg. Total is 6.5. Don't get this. Connor Hellebuck is in net here for the Jets. Connor Hellebuck against the Edmonton Oilers this season has been really good. 2 games, 4 goals, 1.95 goals against average. At home, Connor Hellebuck has a 2.25 goals against average. Recently at home for Connor Hellebuck against Nashville, he did give up 4 goals against them, but he shut out the Washington Capitals in the game before that. Did give up 4 goals at home to Seattle in a game that they lost 4-3, but 3 goals against Arizona in a 4-3 loss there. 1-0 against San Jose Sharks back in the middle of February, and 2-1 a 1-goal performance against Pittsburgh. He's going up against Skinner for the Oilers. These two teams have played 2 times so far this year. Both games have gone under. Now, while I lean towards the Oilers to win this game here tonight, I think 6.5 is a little bit too high, okay? These teams are playing for a lot. They're playing for seeding. They're playing for playoff positions. Skinner is hot and cold. We know Hellebuck's great, but 3-2 the win in Edmonton for the Jets, and 3-1 the win for the Oilers in Winnipeg. This game is being played in Winnipeg. And I know recently Jets have lost 3 games in a row. They gave up 4, 6, and 3 on the last 3 games of their road trip. Only scored 4 goals in those 2 games. On the flip side, Oilers have lost the first 2 games of this road trip, 6-3, 5-3, okay? But I think they'll tighten up here when they play each other. And the 6.5, I think, is just indicative of what everyone's going to bet the over. Everyone's going to come in here. They're all going to bet the over. I hope it gets to 7. If it gets to 7, that'll be tremendous. I like the under even more if you come in and bet the under. But I just think we're looking at teams that are going to play a tight, low-scoring game. Now, here's the other thing to keep in mind. If these teams are tied going to the third period, this is something it's minus 195 at DraftKings for a third period over 1.5 goals. Well, there's a reason for it. There's a run going on right now. Edmonton, 5 straight. Winnipeg, 5 straight. Over 1.5 goals in the third period. Now it's minus 195. Dallas plays the Stars, plays at the Sharks tonight. The second period trend where they're 25-2. In the last game, it didn't hit. The Sharks, they're just not even going to play around. The Sharks are 11-2 to a second period over. Books have just gone to 2.5. Said, forget it. We're not giving you 1.5. We're going 2.5 goals now. If you find a book at 1.5, the juice is going to be just an insane thing. But if you want a crazy parlay, take the second period over 1.5 goals for San Jose and Dallas, and the third period over for Winnipeg and the Oilers, 1.5 goals apiece. You're going to be paying heavy juice on the Dallas price, but that's not a bad parlay to throw together. If you're looking for a hockey parlay, not a crazy, you're betting trends there. So, 5 straight for Edmonton and Winnipeg, 25-2 for Dallas, and 11-2 for San Jose. It's a pretty good trend bet right there for second period over 1.5, parlayed with over 3.5. But you got to find the 1.5, okay? Most books right now that I found, 2.5. They just said, forget it. We're going to 2.5 plus 150. Got to bet 3 goals in the second period. No, I would not recommend doing that. But if you find a 1.5, it's going to be like minus 250 probably. You have to parlay it with the Edmonton play, but I don't mind it at all. I think the under is the play. But here, if we go into, if it's like 3-1 going into the third period, be careful. All right, that's a real good chance. We could get a 4-2 final. It's very possible. But you might get a 3-3, and then you're going to, the over's dead. Okay, 3 + 3 = 7 in those situations, right? So that's the problem. If it is going to be a 3-1 game going into the third period, just keep in mind that there's going to be at least 2 goals scored in the third period. So as we head towards the third, if it's like 4-1, there you might want to get involved. So this is interesting. It's 6-5, okay? Or it's 6.5. If the first period's low scoring, which it very well might be, okay, Winnipeg has gone 4 straight games under 1.5 goals in the first period. So say after one period, it's 1-0. Watch for the live total. If it drops to 5.5, I would bet the over. Try to middle it at 6. All right? Have it land 4-2. So you don't lose. This is what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to hope for a 1-0 or 0-0 end of the first period. Total comes down to 5.5. We're betting under 6.5 right now. We bet over 5.5. Hope that it lands on 6, okay? That's what I'm going to try to do, but officially, it's under 6.5. You can just play the official play if you'd want and ride it out, but if you have a chance to watch that game late with Edmonton and Winnipeg, awesome hockey game. I can't wait to watch it, but as you're watching it, just keep that in mind that we're expecting at least 2 goals in the third period. So as we go to the third, add 2. If that equals 7, get out if you can, right? Bet over 6, whatever you got to do to get yourself so you don't lose money on that play, okay? So 3 bets for us going here tonight. Milwaukee and the Lakers under 232. Kings and the Mavericks over 236.5, and the Oilers and the Jets under 6.5, all for 1.1 units here on a Tuesday. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt each and every morning. The Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.